Ladies and gents, welcome back. I picked an unusual time to give a vacation. Here I am in Tokyo, Japan, reporting to you from here, and taking a bit of time out of my vacation to report on this story. It appears that, well, the Chinese interference is a little bit more than we thought, and, well, we're hearing now that it's an existential threat, and these are the words from Liberal MP John McKay. Beijing is an existential threat to Canada, this Liberal says, amid interference probes. Now, we'll just, before getting into the article, let's get into what actually he had to say. And this is him being quickly interviewed as he's leaving the chamber and questioned about this. And it's kind of scathing what he had to say.
It's being raised now about what the government knew about foreign interference.
Well, my views are that this is far larger. That Canada, that the government of China is an existential threat to Canada on a multiplicity of levels, and we need to come to grips with that.
Is your government doing enough to deal with that, to confront it?
Well, it's not for me to say.
Well, you're a member of the governing caucus.
The caucus, right. But I think we need as a nation to come to grips with the desire of the government of China to turn us all into vassal states. And I don't think we have it.
So you think the public inquiry is warranted then?
No, I think we need to think our way through this very, very carefully.
Why? What's the risk of it?
Well, because it's an existential threat that we've never, ever faced before on a multiplicity of levels.
Sounds like you're saying it's more of a problem in terms of the election and the democratic process
It's more than the election. It's at the universities, it's at the police stations, it's at the Confucius Institutes, it's at the exploitation of resources, I think it's
far bigger story here. And we have here again from Global News, Beijing is an existential threat to Canada, this Liberal MP had to say. Now they had reported earlier, apparently, saying that he said you're calling us all bastard states. No, vassal states is the word that he had to say. The Chinese government represents an existential threat to Canada, a Liberal MP says amid a new global news report into Beijing's suspected foreign interference. Him saying that it runs deeper. Scarborough Guildwood MP John McKay made the comments to a journalist out in Ottawa on Wednesday following a publication of the Global News story indicating two high-level national security reports before and after the 2019 election suggest senior government officials were warned that Chinese government officials were funneling money to Canadian political candidates. And this is really, really big. And 11 of them was reported that received funding, one from the Conservative camp, actually. And Pierre Poilievre was questioned about this, and he said that, if anyone from his party received any of this funding knowingly, he would kick them out. Now, Justin Trudeau, of course, here being asked about this situation. What did he know and when did he know it? Of course, dodging the question as usual.
So there are new allegations that as of August 2019, you were aware of Chinese government funding of candidates ahead of that election. What did you know about Chinese government funding of election candidates, and when did you know it, and what did you do about it then?
One of the reasons that we are putting in place a special rapporteur on top of the work and the full access that NSI COP and NCRA have. The members, the Conservative, Liberal, and NDP and senators, members of the National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians will have access and have access to all top secret documents, all briefings that might have been made or could have been made or were not made, from CSIS to parliamentarians. The process around this remains something that we have to make sure is looked at by parliamentarians and by experts who have proper security clearances for it. I understand the extent to which Canadians have very real questions about this. It is of concern to people that China continues to try to interfere, and other countries are interfering in our democratic processes, in the core of our democracy. And that is why it is so important that authorities, parliamentarians, and experts with the proper clearances can look into everything that was done in a responsible way, in a way that doesn't put at risk national security, in a way that doesn't put at risk national security, in a way that doesn't compromise the people who work
But did you
for our
compromise the
national
2019
security.
election? Did you compromise the election?
So of course, just to sum that up, that's a lot to process all in a short period of time. It feels like if it feels like he has memorized this, and this is just a talking point. Well, it was the same question that Pierre Poilievre asked in the House of Parliament in the question period was, when did you know what you know, and what is it that you know? And we'll just throw this out here before I get into the explanation behind it. But it really gets frustrating when you hear the same response over and over and over again and no direct answers to these questions.
Has CSIS warned the Prime Minister, his staff, his party, or anyone else that any member of his current caucus or cabinet may be part of a foreign interference network, yes or no?
To which he answers the exact same thing that he answered to these pressers here. Now, the story here is that, he was a leaker from CSIS, evidently or apparently, allegedly, told Trudeau's office about these things happening, and he evidently, by the admission of the leaker, had known the details, but he won't come clean about this. Now, what were the allegations here? Now, this is from Global News. 3 weeks. Oops. Excuse me. Liberals ignored CSIS warning on 2019 candidate accused in Chinese interference probe. Now, the thing here was 3 weeks before Canada's 2019 federal election, national security officials allegedly gave an urgent classified briefing to senior aides from Prime Minister Trudeau's office, warning them that one of their candidates was part of a Chinese foreign interference network. According to the sources, the candidate in question was Han Dong, and then a former Ontario MPP, whom Canadian Security Intelligence Services had started tracking in June of that year. National security officials also alleged that Dong, now a sitting MP re-elected in 2021, is one of the at least 11 Toronto area riding candidates allegedly supported by Beijing in the 2019 contest. Sources say that the service also believes Dong is witting affiliate in China's election interference networks. Now, these are the allegations. Trudeau not coming clean and saying that, well, we need to have people with the particular security clearances be allowed to come out and talk about it or know about these things, but you don't want the public to know. Now, this information got out, and CSIS is now in an investigation into who leaked this information to the press. But most people in the public are more concerned about what the information is, less than who was the leaker. It's very telling when the government and CSIS are more concerned about who leaked this information to the press rather than what the information entails. And what the information entails, allegedly, is far worse than we even know about. Beijing being an existential threat to Canada, as said by Liberal MP here. Here we are in a situation where we know that there has been interference in our electoral system, but now it's looking as though there's interference at an even broader level. And, it's only time will tell now when it comes to, finding out the truth about this whole story. But hey, let me know in the comments down below what you think of this whole situation. It is a farce, but at the same time, Justin Trudeau, like Teflon, Nothing seems to stick to him. All these ethics violations, all kinds of situations. Will this be the last the straw that broke the camel's back when it comes to the ability of that man to remain in his position to govern the country, in which he doesn't seem so fond of, if you really look into it. But here, let's just leave it at that. Leave a question leave a question for you guys to fill in the comments. But yeah, do you think that anything is gonna come of this? It's too early to tell. It seems very interesting, but every time there's a scandal with this government, everybody seems to think that this will be the end of Trudeau as the Prime Minister of Canada, but it doesn't seem to have done anything as of yet. But hey, don't forget to tune in tonight, live stream. I'm going to bed soon, and then it's going to be tomorrow on this side of the planet. But it'll be early in the morning, or not super early, but in the morning that I'll be doing a live stream. But I'm going to take you out for a walk this time out in Tokyo. So looking forward to doing that. We'll see that at that'll be 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific time. Check your local time zone on when that'll be. But tune into that tonight live. We'll see you then. Keep on trucking.